In 1959, an experiment proved something that breaks basic common sense: paying someone less to lie makes them end up believing their own lie. It isn't a rhetorical paradox. It's a psychological finding replicated for more than 60 years. And over the next 24 minutes, I'm going to show you why the most dangerous lie that exists isn't the one you tell others, it's the one you tell yourself. Psychologists Leon Festinger and James Carlsmith brought Stanford students together for a deliberately boring task lasting an hour, turning pegs on a board, moving spools back and forth, over and over. Afterward, they asked them to tell the next participant the task had been fascinating. One group was paid $1 for this lie. Another group was paid $20. Here's the twist: in follow-up interviews, those paid just $1 genuinely reported having enjoyed the boring task. Those paid $20 didn't change their minds, they knew exactly why they had lied. The explanation is called cognitive dissonance. When you don't have enough external justification for a lie, your mind resolves the discomfort by changing what you believe to match what you said. $1 isn't enough of an excuse. So instead of feeling like liars, they convinced themselves they were telling the truth. Evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers took this idea much further. He proposed that self-deception isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature that evolved specifically to help you lie better to others. His reasoning is precise: if you hide the truth even from your own conscious mind, you no longer need to hold two versions of reality at once, the true one and the one you're telling. You only need to hold one. That frees up mental capacity. It removes the risk of contradicting yourself. And it makes your body language, your tone of voice, your gaze, exactly like those of someone telling the truth, because, in your own mind, you are lying to yourself. According to Trivers, doesn't make you weaker. It makes you, evolutionarily, more convincing. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely documented, across dozens of behavioral experiments, that almost nobody lies as much as possible, nor is anybody completely honest all the time. Instead, most people cheat up to a very specific limit, the exact point where they can still see themselves as reasonably honest. He called this the fudge factor. This limit isn't fixed. It shifts with context. People cheat more when they believe others are also cheating, and less when a visible authority figure reinforces clear honesty norms. The core mechanism is still the same self-deception from Chapter 2. You don't consciously tell yourself, "This is fine." You reinterpret what you did until it stops feeling like a lie. Let's go to the numbers, because numbers are where this stops sounding like a curiosity and starts sounding like a measurable daily reality. In 1996, psychologist Bella DePaulo asked 147 people to keep a diary of every lie they told over a full week. The result: college students lied an average of 2 times a day. Community adults, 1 time a day. The top liar in the study reached 46 lies in a week, nearly 7 a day. Men and women lie in roughly a fifth of their conversations lasting 10 minutes or more. Over a week, they deceive about 30% of the people they talk to one-on-one. Most of these aren't dramatic lies. They're everyday, almost invisible lies, telling someone their muffins are the best you've ever had, or exaggerating how sorry you were to be late. Here's the final twist, and the most unsettling one of all. When you repeat a false story enough times, even a small, everyday lie, your own brain begins to remember it with the same familiarity and confidence as a real memory. There's no separate internal alarm that precisely distinguishes between what actually happened and what you invented and repeated. The memory mechanism treats both almost identically. This means we don't just lie to others. Over time, with the involuntary help of the self-deception we saw in Chapter 2, we end up believing our own edited versions of reality, with no conscious sense of lying at all. So who are you, really, if part of what you believe about yourself is useful self-deception, built over years of small, repeated lies? the uncomfortable answer is that there probably isn't a fully, unedited version of yourself to go back to. Self-deception isn't a veil you can fully remove. According to evolutionary evidence, it's part of the basic software we run on as a social species. But that doesn't mean you can't notice when it's active. You can learn to recognize the exact moment you're reinterpreting something instead of being honest with yourself, and that awareness alone, even if it doesn't eliminate the mechanism, completely changes your relationship with it. So what can you do with all of this? First, next time you catch yourself defending something with more conviction than you expected, ask whether it's because it's true or because you need it to be true. Second, pay attention to your own fudge factor, the exact point where you justify a small bit of cheating without feeling dishonest. Recognizing it doesn't eliminate it, but it makes it visible. Third, when you tell a story about yourself for the umpteenth time, remember that each retelling makes it a little more memory and a little less what actually happened. This isn't about becoming paranoid about every thought you have. It's about understanding that perfect honesty with yourself isn't the human brain's natural state. It's an active practice, requiring constant attention. Next time you catch yourself retelling a story about yourself, you'll pause for half a second. And that pause, exactly that, is what we do on this channel, show you the hidden signal behind what everyone else takes for granted. If you want to keep seeing the system behind the system, you know where to find us.